Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, more problems for CBS's The Talk following the show's shutdown as a co-host files a complaint with the network. What is going on? Then, it truly was the most dramatic Bachelor finale ever. Producer Ted breaks it all down. And spring has sprung. Well, almost. What's the best way to repot your plants? Shayla from the Plant Penthouse is back with the Green Thumb 411. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Minnetonka, St. Louis Park, South St. Paul, West St. Paul, Eagan, Rochester, Duluth.
Don't forget North St. Paul.
Oh, North St. Paul. Good morning to all of them and good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. She's live too. Please welcome my sidekick sister from another mister and the Dairy Princess from 2012. It's Kendall Mark, everybody.
Good year.
Good year.
2012. I graduated college in 2012. It was a good year. Okay.
Is the show over yet? Why do you have to remind me of my age? Because I look at my, you know what? I look at my hands a lot now. Do you do that too, Jeff? Yeah. I look at my hands a lot now. Don't you even say you do too.
Stop.
You're
I do too. I have
old.
sunspots.
No, you, I'm crying for you and your sunspots.
Well.
Get these wrinkles and then come to me, sister.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, no, I look at my hands all the time.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know when it happened, but I'm like, oh, yep, that's the hands of a 46-year-old right there, and it's freaking me out.
Can you do something about that? Is there like a chemical injection?
Okay. I'm going to need her replaced. I'm going to just... Where's our standee? Did Creative Service steal our standee?
They really, truly did. Yeah,
the standee is $1.50. We're getting things stolen that are like $2?
Yeah.
We don't have a new one, Jeff? We don't have a new one yet?
This is a cheap show.
I mean, we do it on the... Tyler, would you go in there, please? Kendall, leave. Just leave for a little while.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. Leave for a little while.
Jason, you need me.
Yeah, you're right. I do need you.
Tyler doesn't have a microphone.
He does. Floor director Tyler. But anyway, may I go off on rude people for just a second?
Oh, yes, please.
So, if you missed a show yesterday, I just got back from Florida, as my excessive sunburn will show you. And we were at one of our last hours. We were laying by the pool. We had a few hours before we had to go to the airport. And we're laying by the pool. And I'll stop here and say that my mother was really big on manners. I say that a lot. So I was raised, look, I was an only kid. I was spoiled in some ways, but my mom raised me to be polite. And that really meant a lot to her. Her phrase that I loved was, she never wanted adults to dread my presence. Mm-hmm. So I say that because rude people drive me nuts. So we're laying by the pool, and there's a family in front of us. And at most hotels, when you when you reserve a chair, or you put a towel over the chair, and then when you're done, you take the towel to the towel bin. Well, this family, I'm laying there drinking my little beverage, and I'm looking, and this whole family, there's like 17 of them. There's actually only four or five. They get up, they leave their trash, they leave their litter, they leave their cups, their plates. Starts blowing in the wind. They leave their towels.
Starts blowing in the wind.
And they leave. And I thought, what are you doing? You lazy, entitled pig people. I just thought, and now I brought this up in the radio show, and my friend Alexis brought up a good point. Is there a cultural thing? Because I guess in different cultures, it's expected that the staff at the said hotel picks it up. That's not the case.
Right.
Trust me, that's not this situation. They were just entitled, rude pig people. And I just thought it's disgusting. Clean up your stuff, you lazy people.
Especially nowadays with how careful we're being about germs and touching other people's things. Ugh.
It's not the role of the server at the pool to pick up your trash. Right. There's signs all over the place. And pick up your towels. There were trash bins every 10 feet. You know how, I'm sure you're like this. There's just little things in life that drive you nuts. That's one of them for me.
When they make it so easy for you, and then you still don't do it.
And people are just lazy. Lazy pig people.
That's a good impression.
LPPs. You're an LPP. You're a lazy pig person.
Okay, I'll jot that one down.
Please do. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot takes. Roll it. I just don't like that. You don't treat service industry people like that.
No.
They're not. Anyway, let's get going. Things just keep getting worse over there at the Talk. Woo! As Jed Clampett used to say, ooh, doggy. The show was still on hiatus following Sharon Osbourne's outburst last week. Now we're learning one of the new co-hosts has filed a complaint. That's Elaine right there. Elaine and her hairstylist complained to HR about a racially insensitive and hostile environment. The two said they don't feel comfortable working in such an environment. Meanwhile, Sharon Osbourne apparently confronted producers about Wednesday's show, saying that she felt blindsided by Cheryl Underwood in that now famous back and forth. Look, y'all make your own decisions about Sharon Osbourne. I just want to talk about the show itself. I don't know how they recover from this. And this is what I mean. A panel show like The Talk, like The View, The Buzz here locally, our show in a way. I mean, we're just two people, but Regis Lee and Kelly Lee, all of those shows, all of these shows depend on chemistry. And I'm not, I know it's hard to tell. I'm actually not trying to be snarky here. They all depend on chemistry. And if you lose that chemistry, which is trust, if you lose that, you can't come back from that. Because the audience, all of you watching, you can spot it. You can't fake it. You can't act your way out of, because a lot of this show, like The Talk, it's banter. It's a game of ping pong. You know what I mean? Back and forth. And if there isn't trust with one of the co-hosts, two of the co-hosts, it's ruined. I don't know how they move forward without either canceling the show or removing Sharon Osbourne. No matter what you think of Sharon, I don't know how you do that.
Is there a Talk without Sharon Osbourne? That's just...
Of course there is. Everybody's replaceable. Again, Adam, take a shot. That sign can be replaced. It can say Tracy in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? The Tracy, I'm out of here. That can say Julie.
Right.
There's a J, Justin. That can, everybody's replaceable.
Yeah, especially when you take a 2-day timeout.
Yeah.
You can fix a lot of things in 2 days.
And I have a feeling this investigation is going to take more than just a couple days.
Right. Well, and we had talked about this months back about how their ratings weren't as good anymore.
No.
So it's kind of one of those like, ooh,
Yeah.
double whammy.
Next in the dish, The Bachelor finale aired last night. And that means we now know who will be the next bachelorette, or in this case, plural, bachelorettes. Look.
It's time to look ahead to the future, the next bachelorette. Now, Matt had such an incredible group of women that the choice was more difficult than ever before. Ultimately, it came down to two strong, deserving women. I think we need to talk to both of them before we make that big reveal. So please welcome Michelle and Katie. But there's no use in drawing it out any longer because a decision has been made. Should we tell Bachelor Nation?
We're the Bachelorettes.
That's right. 2 separate seasons, 2 separate women, 2 separate journeys, hopefully ending up.
That's right. We're the Bachelorettes. That's Katie and our local woman, Michelle. Katie will go first. Shooting is likely to begin soon, and Michelle will be the Bachelorette. We assume sometime it'll air like mid to late summer. It seemed like the Double Mint commercial right there. They're a little too scripted.
I know.
1, 2, 3. We're the Bachelorettes. Ding. Yeah.
It was a little anticlimactic compared to how they normally announce. Obviously, there wasn't a studio audience.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of it normally. And then, of course, the After the Final Rose, and Ted will talk about this, was totally different than it normally is anyway. So I'm excited to see Michelle. I loved Katie on the show. I loved Michelle on the show. The show. Bachelorette is always better than The Bachelor, too. Always.
I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah, and you just, we call it a deep tease. Producer Ted, back from a day off, will be coming up a little bit. What was he doing on his day off? Do we know?
Getting ready for
Ceramics
the Bachelorette.
or something? He's a homeowner now, Producer Ted.
Yes.
So he was asking, you missed thrilling conversation before the show started.
Really?
Ted was asking director Leo how to do lawn care.
Yeah, it went on, and then we left.
It's still going
and they,
on right now in the
kept
control
going.
room. It is. Yeah. Next in the dish, so Ted will be up a little bit later with that. Next in the dish, Tiffany Haddish won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album over the weekend, and she found out while she was taping her new show, Kids Say the Darndest Things, and she posted the whole thing on Instagram. This is pure joy. Look at this.
For me, I'm just happy with being nominated personally.
I've been nominated a couple times.
You say what?
You've been nominated a couple times.
Yeah, I've been nominated a couple of times for some things.
But I just
and
won
I
a Grammy.
I just what?
You just won a Grammy.
Just love being nominated.
I just won a Grammy.
No.
Are you serious?
I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth.
Wait.
girl,
Y'all see this thing in my ear? Y'all see this in my ear?
Tell them all you just won a Grammy. Congratulations. You just won the Best Comedy Album.
Y'all serious?
I'm serious. There's no lie. This is for real.
I really won?
Woo.
You know a black woman hasn't won in that category since 1986?
Yes, I learned that from Black History.
Yeah, a black woman hasn't won for Best Comedy Album since Whoopi Goldberg. Can I tell you why I'm crying?
That's, you know what? How great is that? I love a real moment like that. Tiffany told the girls there have been lots of bumpy roads to get to this point, but anything is possible, truly. I mean, Tiffany, like, 10 years ago, she would take any extras job, like a person in a scene, like, you know.
The lobby.
The lobby. Oh, you're going to be person A checking in.
Yeah.
And she had a bigger dream for herself and just perseverance with Tiffany Haddish. I love that.
That was amazing. Those kids are adorable, too.
Yeah.
But do you remember even just a couple years ago, she wore that white dress, and I can't remember if it was the Oscars or one of the big awards shows. She was like, girl, I'm going to wear this for every show. This is expensive. She's so relatable and funny and just good.
Yeah, because, again, we go from the scripted moment of The Bachelor, we're the Bachelorettes, ding, to, you know, a genuine moment like that. I love it. We love you, Tiffany. Congratulations. Stay right there. We have a lot more to come right after these messages. Hope you're hungry. More dish is coming out of the oven. Coming up next, how long is too long? Could you or would you sit through a 4-hour superhero movie? Well, HBO Max wants you to do just that. Then, it's hard to believe with snow on the ground, but it's almost time to repot your plants. But what's the best way to do it? Shayla from Plant Penthouse is here to help. And a dramatic end to a dramatic season. Producer Ted wraps up the rather uncomfortable finale of The Bachelor. That and more when The Jason Show continues.
Hey guys, the Players' Championship was this weekend, and we wanted to do something fun with that, so we gave a bunch of the players weird phrases and asked them to sneak those phrases into their interviews as casually as possible. No one knew we were going to do this. Here, check it out. It's time for Drop It In.
Just talk a little bit about how excited you are to be back and also to have the fans here this week.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm just a corn dog living a hot dog life out there now again.
Now that we're at 20% capacity, how much are you looking forward to that aspect?
Yeah, well, you know, to be honest, khakis with the pleats and feet in their cleats, keep butts in their seats.
Putting you take great pride in. You talk a little bit about that part of your game.
Well, I love putting. I'm a putt, nut. Can I get a what?
I think I just learned that you have to respect the golf course. There's trouble in every hole. You can try to pin the tail on the donkey, but eventually you're going to get kicked in the teeth.
I've never been known to skip on the dip.
Just curious your thoughts on the 17th of the tee shot, if it's intimidating or not.
Simple truth is, you know, we have the meats.
That's right. Just like Arby's, we have the meats. Jimmy Fallon dropping it in with professional golfers. That's great. I love that bit. It's a great bit.
Well, and I know people who like watching golf will agree. The Players was fun to watch the final day.
Yeah. I want to learn.
Side note.
Side note. I still want to learn how to play golf.
I would love to go golfing with you.
I want to learn.
I just got a new set of pings.
I'm not Sporty Spice. I know that shocks you. But I do want to learn how to play golf before I die.
Is this?
And judging by my hands, that could be any day now.
Is this permission for me to book us a golf shoot?
Absolutely. Get.
Write it down.
Write it down. Yeah. I want to learn how to play golf.
Okay.
And I mean it. I think it could be a hobby of mine.
Yeah.
In my advanced age.
Oh, Lord. Good thing you can play when you're really old.
Okay, I'm getting it from both sides. First of all, Kendall just called me old. And then Tyler, floor director Tyler, as I'm saying I want to play golf. This is Tyler. No, you can't.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And I love Tyler. Tyler has grown to be one of my favorites here at Fox 9. Not anymore. I was going to leave him something in the will. He's cut out. Yeah. Next in the dish. I'm going to give it all to Adam now. Next in the dish, Jimmy spent the early part of the pandemic in his house in the Hamptons, and it turns out Fallon may be spending even more time out there because he just listed his Manhattan apartment. As I say, come back to the television because y'all need to see Jimmy Fallon's Manhattan apartment. Look at this. This 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house is no joke. It comes with a saloon. Well, that's the bathroom right there. Look at that. Or is that the kitchen? I think that's the bathroom. That's the bathroom. A huge kitchen, which you just saw. And again, that bathroom you could get lost in. That and more for $15 million. See, I was going to leave that to Tyler, and now nothing.
Oh, Tyler, you missed out on Fallon's loft.
So mean.
Okay, so it's in, I think it's called the Gramercy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was reading a little bit more about this complex and just the amount of prestige in living there, period, and like the work that they've done and the architecture. It's just like, Fallon lives there? Go figure.
And he took, and this is what they do in New York, when you're crazy rich, he took not one, not two, but 3 apartments and combined them into like a mega apartment.
Right, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh.
That bathroom, 4 times the size of my first studio apartment here in Minneapolis.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Those are the days. Next in the dish, speaking of Jimmy, John Oliver was Fallon's guest, and the British comedian talked about his reaction to Oprah's interview with Harry and Meghan. Look.
The only thing that shocked me afterwards was that Oprah the next day saying, "Oh, Prince Harry wants to make it clear that it wasn't Prince Philip being racist," which made me think, really? Okay, that is actually surprising. I think it was assumed, and I guess people just didn't hear him.
Do you think any change will come from this interview?
I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because the royal family, its whole selling point is that it doesn't change. That was kind of the point of it over centuries, that, you know, times come and go, governments rise and fall, but the royal family will always be there, unyielding, the stiff upper lip that doesn't wobble. So that's their selling point. As years go by, you realize that not changing is not entirely a good thing. Because that means the times might be...
John is now a U.S. citizen, by the way. Talk shows come and go, but the Jason Show will always be here.
The queen mum of the talk shows.
Until Sheila Oliver cancels us. That's right. No.
Did
you call us the queen mum
the
of
queen
talk
mum
shows?
of talk shows.
Look at that. Oh.
Thank you.
Again, it's another old reference, but that's fine. The queen mom was like 800 years old.
What? I think I missed what I made. I should have just gone with it.
Speaking of John Oliver, I love you. I couldn't love another human being more. I wanted to take you home, put you on a shelf, and call you George.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of John Oliver, on his show last week tonight, airs on Sunday, he poked a little fun at local TV news and their pandemic precautions. Look.
And now, a look back at 1 year of TV news with pandemic precautions.
You may have noticed something a little different about tonight's newscast.
Like many of you, everyone at CBS 17 is practicing social distancing.
We are standing 6 feet apart here on the set.
Yeah, it's social distancing.
So this is 6 feet right here.
It feels like I have to shout at you now.
I know.
But we have microphones and we don't.
I'm coming to you live this morning from my own home in Boardman.
You look great sitting there all set up at a studio at home.
What's happening? Olivia is calling. Somebody answer Olivia.
I mean, we could say hi.
Someone answer that, please.
At I-65, gonna go ahead and apologize. My Alexa is going off. Alexa, off.
A downstream effect that's playing out across the system. I'm sorry you're hearing my dog bark at the mailman there.
So it's been a week since I've seen her. Hi, this is my cat. That is the perks of working from home.
The maps aren't going to move because he just whacked the computer with his head. So let me just verbalize the forecast.
62. Just verbalize.
Is there anything better than that golden retriever?
No.
That is fantastic.
It's so good.
Well, I remember us, and I hope you do watch us every day, you and I, we have to own this, we weren't quite sure what was happening, like most of the world with the pandemic. And we just knew that there was something in Wuhan. So you and I, back in the day, and we'll probably restart it once, we used to hug. I don't know if we'll hug anymore, but instead of hugging, the first couple days of the pandemic, or we did our little foot thing.
Yeah, the Wuhan high five or handshake or whatever.
And we thought we were being cute. Not cute 4 days later.
Nope, wasn't cute. Sent us home.
Sent us home.
Everybody went home.
I was on a trip. Got the call from our boss, Marion Mim Davey, who I've worked for since I was 14. She called me. She goes, Jack. She calls me Jack. She goes, Jack, the Jack Show on the shelf. Great.
You're like,
that's what you want to hear.
Next
on the dish, Zack Snyder's Justice League hit HBO Max over the weekend. It's coming. Yeah, this coming weekend. He was the director on the project before he had to leave, and then they redid the whole movie with Joss Whedon, who did the Avengers. But when they redid it, it bombed at the box office, and superfans wanted the Snyder cut instead. The director's cut generally does better on Rotten Tomatoes, with a score of 75% compared to Justice League's 40%. But here's the deal. The New York Times seems to sum up everyone's biggest complaint about the movie: its length. It's 4 hours long. The New York Times says the movie is supersized and super hopeless. And Entertainment Weekly says it's just as bad and twice as long.
Ooh, ouch.
It's like if this show was made into 2 hours.
Oh.
Twice as long and twice as bad. That's right.
I don't think anyone would say that.
I'm kidding. I love superhero movies. You're a nerd. I'm a nerd. Don't you want to be a nerd too? I have no ambition to sit down, plop my butt down, and watch 4 hours of this because I didn't like the first cut.
Yeah. They haven't really done, until quite recently, they haven't done a ton of press, I don't think, about this either, because I was like, oh, I've kind of heard of this, compared to how they usually blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they've done some. I've seen it in my algorithm, like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Right.
I don't know, and I love these movies, but I don't like these Justice League movies. I didn't like Batman versus Superman. I didn't like Man of Steel. I don't like those DC movies.
The only time I ever think I sat through like 3.5-ish hours when they did the first the Lord of the Ring movies. They did like the extended cut from the Fellowship of the Ring. It had 4 DVDs.
Yes.
I watched all 4 DVDs in one day and was like, all right, movie 2, let's go.
Yeah. If you don't know, Kendall is a supersized nerd like
Lord
me,
of the Rings.
But she loves Lord of the Rings. I'm Star Wars. She's Gandalf.
Yes.
Obi-Wan,
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yes.
Gandalf, Obi-Wan. Good directing there, Leo. Was trying to see how quickly. Was trying to test Leo to see if he was talking lawn care. Let's try this again. Gandalf?
No,
Or no.
I'm Gandalf.
Gandalf, Obi-Wan. Gandalf, Obi-Wan. Very good, Leo.
That was a fun game.
Uma Oprah. And again, this is why we haven't won an Emmy. We haven't won, and this is why I'll never play golf, right, Tyler? Still ahead. Need help repotting your plants? Shayla from the Plant Penthouse is back, but next, it's the night Ted has been waiting for. The script said all of us, but no, just Ted. Did Matt get down on one knee and run off into the sunset with his new lava? Producer Ted will recap the Bachelor finale when we come back. Back in a moment.
A little bit about yourself. Well, I'm an elementary school teacher, and when I was thinking about taking this opportunity, it was really scary for me to put everything on hold back home. But what I knew about Matt, and just kind of felt this pull, and I'm like, I have to figure out what this is. Like, he's a world changer, and that's exactly what I'm looking for.
What qualities do you see in Matt that you could possibly see in a husband or a long-term partner?
He makes me feel really safe. He makes me feel comfortable. He is so funny and goofy, but then at the other side of things, he's really understanding. He's a great listener. You know, every time I see him, I can't breathe and my heart's racing and I get butterflies, and I really do picture this future with him.
That didn't happen. Welcome back. The final 2 women met Matt's family as they hope to secure their forever future and become Mrs. Matt James. That didn't happen. Things didn't go quite as planned, and the dramatic 3-hour finale had its fair share of heartbreak. And that means, once again, it's time for 72% of America loves Ted. And joining us right now from Bachelor Nation headquarters is producer Ted Johnson. Ted, I do hope you notice that the percentage of people loving you, it goes up and down. It depends on the polling, like Gallup polling, Ted.
I was really good after that Viking story. We got a little bit of a bump.
You were.
But then I go off for a day and it goes down.
It goes down. Okay, so we just saw what happened there. What happened after that?
So naturally, after they meet the family, then the bachelor or the bachelorette is like, okay, family, what do you really think? What do you think? And mom and brother both liked both ladies, but mom didn't really set us up for success. Mom planted a little seed in Matt's head that he couldn't quite shake. Leo.
I know you don't take love lightly and saying things lightly, because what do you want? Good communication, trust. I mean, I know they both love you, but feelings come and go. And to tell somebody you love them is big, because that opens their hearts up. And just speaking from experience, there's nothing like being in love. It makes life wonderful. But, people fall in and out of love, and love is not the end-all, be-all.
Mom
says love isn't real.
Well, I mean, no, Ted, she didn't say that.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Mom said that love is not real. You're going to just be alone forever.
I can't.
Which, when he's trying to pick his forever partner, that's not the springboard you want.
Yeah, no. That's not the way to start it off, but that's how they started off. So then, let's go to the Minnesota lady first, Michelle, right? What happened with her?
We liked Michelle. She's one of the top 10 that has ever been on The Bachelor before, and he just says, I don't think it's going to work. And so he dumps her. She doesn't really understand why. The reasoning didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and then eventually they just get up and leave.
What did he tell her, Ted? What was the reason?
He just doesn't think he can't get there with her.
And she was pretty gobsmacked?
Oh, she was shocked. She says afterwards that she tried to get like a 2-minute convo with him to understand why he came to such a decision. He declined.
Oh. I wonder now if he's regretting that. But anyway, we'll get to that, yeah. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. The situation with Rachel, what happened?
So obviously he doesn't know the stuff that happens after the show, but he's already coming into the final days with Rachel. So he got rid of Michelle early. So he's got final days with Rachel, and he actually goes to Neil Lane and he goes, Neil, he's the ring guy. And he goes, Neil, I don't know. Should I propose? Obviously, the ring guy's going to tell you to propose.
He's asking the ring guy if he should propose?
Yes, and actually in this shot, his jacket is so tight that you can see the ring bulging out of his rib cage. So if they ever pan out on this shot, you'll see the ring box right there, kind of on the upper left rib.
Oh, yeah.
So, but he doesn't get down on his knee and propose. He basically tells her basically what his mom said, and like people fall out of love, so they're gonna date.
So that's the finale. That moment right there is the end?
Yeah. So
oh my goodness.
He gives her the final rose, so she wins, and then they do stuff.
So there's no proposal.
No proposal.
Okay. Now let's talk about after the final rose, with new host Emmanuel Acho, even though Chris Harrison did voiceover work. But
yeah, that was a little weird, too.
That's a little weird. Weird choice by the production. But anyway, how did that go?
I didn't know how he was going to do. I really liked, kind of his style. He was just dramatic enough that he got the occasion. He was, would say like, Michelle, this might be the last time you ever speak to Matt again. What do you want to say to him?
Oh my!
And
goodness.
I got a little emotional.
Now, I heard Jimmy Kimmel put together all the awkward moments of the whole shebang.
Yeah, so I can't quite capture how awkward this whole hour was, because Matt just doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. He's mad with Rachel. They broke up. And so Jimmy put it all together.
And not even the pressure of televised discomfort could get them back together.
Well, if you all want to share one final embrace.
I don't know if it'll ever not hurt hearing those things.
It was a night of many sighs. It was a night that almost makes you question the sanctity of the Bachelor franchise itself.
Wow. And Ted, we got to go, but we should tell the audience, we didn't manipulate that bit. That pause was as long live as we just rolled it.
That was how awkward the whole thing was. And I don't know if Emmanuel Acho is going to come back after that night. He'd probably be like, hard pass.
Hard pass. We'll never take a hard pass on you. It's producer Ted, everybody. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, Leo. Leo was like, cut! We're done with Ted. Still ahead. I had an epiphany during my week off. I'll share what it was when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. You know, I was talking to executive producer Jeff, and for about, I don't know, 12, 13 years, I've been outspoken about anti-bullying efforts. As a kid, a person that was bullied, I kind of made it my thing. But there, you know, there was another little aspect of that, a little corner of that mission that kind of struck me over the vacation that I just took that I wanted to share with you that I think will be relatable for a lot of folks in the audience. And it happened in the weirdest of places. I was sitting at the beach on Sunday with Colin. And I was one of those kids that not only was I bullied, but I was one of those kids that never, for a boy, I was one of those boys that never took off his shirt at the pool. And it was rather humiliating to even think of doing that. You know, when I was started to be about 7 or 8, I started to gain a little weight. I was a little puffy kid, as I refer to all the time. And it was just, you wanted to go to the pool, but my goodness, you never wanted to take off that white t-shirt. And that thing never really left, still hasn't really left me. Into my teens, my 20s, my 30s, I was always the kid that never wanted to take off his shirt at the pool. And you add to it, and many of you may not realize this, you add the added layer of, in the gay community, this is an aspect that I don't enjoy, your worth and your place in the hierarchy is often tied to your appearance. Not in all corners, but in some corners, and it really bothers me. I don't like that. And I was sitting on the beach, and you don't really care to know what I did minute by minute, but I took my shirt off at the beach. And it seems like a rather unrevelatory activity, but I did it, and I just didn't care anymore. I just had a really powerful moment where I thought, you know what, I don't care. I think I look pretty good for 46, other than my hands. And it was just a powerful moment that I've never had in my life. You would think because I have this show and because I have the radio show that I would be full of self-esteem, when in actuality, I'm incredibly insecure about how I look day to day to day. Like, for instance, I just got an email in that break from a woman who hates my new hair because I'm growing it out. I'm a sensitive person, and especially about my weight. You know, I'm going to go up and down for the rest of my life. But in that moment at the beach, with the sun shining, flocks of people, I thought, I no longer care. And I was just proud of the person and the uniqueness that I am. I'm proud of the body. My value in this world is not tied to my waist size or my BMI. And it just made me think that I have this platform. I never want to be preachy, but I thought, you know what? Every so often I'm going to remind the little Jasons out there watching that don't want to take off that white t-shirt, that it's okay to take off that white t-shirt because you're enough. You matter, and your uniqueness in the world should be celebrated. Not everybody has to be the same size. Not everybody has to look the same. Whether you're at the beach, at the mall, or at your house, you are beautiful just the way that you are. So you take off that shirt and you be proud of who you are. And it just really, I don't know why it was that moment, that Sunday, that beach, but it did. And I laid there and crisped like a little baked potato, like a little tater tot, a shirtless tater tot. And it didn't matter to me. And it was just one of the more powerful moments I've had in my adult life. Freeing is what it was.
Yeah.
Freeing.
How
very
liberating.
freeing.
What a liberating thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. So all you kids out there, all you little boys that, all you teenagers that worry about that at the pool, don't worry about it. You're beautiful. You're beautiful and you're enough. Still ahead, everybody. Shayla from the Plant Penthouse is back, and she's giving us tips on when we should be repotting our plants. That and more when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are entering spring, woohoo! And that means it may be time to repot your plants. But what is the right way to do it? Joining us with tips is our good friend. There she is. You would think the plants would be the most beautiful thing in that shot. No, she's the most beautiful thing. It's Shayla from the Plant Penthouse. Hi, Shayla.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing swell. You want to know what? I had a lemon blueberry biscuit from Betty and Earl this weekend.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. I'm very proud. Well, and I'm proud of you because you know all this stuff. I don't know this stuff. So let's talk about replanting pots for spring. Why is this important?
You know, it's really important because spring is the start of growing season. So growing season is anywhere from April, May, and then going all the way through to September, October. And so it's really an ideal time to take advantage of the growth spurt your plants are having and to maximize.
And this is the best time. Why specifically, if I can ask?
You know, right specifically. So as the plants during the winter, they're dormant. And so as you get into spring, there's a few things to look for to tell if yours are ready to repot. So 5 common signs. Obviously, there are an exhaustive list of more. But first, if you can visibly see roots coming out of that nursery pot, that's a sign that it's time. Otherwise, if it's unusually thirsty or you feel like, okay, more than the usual occasion, I'm having to add a lot of water. Third, something to look out for is if you're doing everything that you can and you're still seeing yellowing or browning leaves, that could be a sign that your plant is ready for some fresh soil. And then the last 2 is if it's been 12 to 18 months since the last time you repotted it, it's probably a little snug in that pot, as the ones in my background are definitely due for repotting. And lastly, which is one that can span any season, is if you have any type of insects or pests on your plant babies, then you're going to want to give them a good washing and some fresh soil.
So again, just to recap, so signs to look for: roots, thirsty, browning leaves, right? Those are the things to look for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And now tools. What do we need? Because this is where I'm really depending. What do I need to get?
Yes, and this is another one where you do not have to break the bank. There's just a few key tools that I recommend. The first is a good pair of shears. Of course, I wanted to get ones with a little bit of design on it, but if you don't have shears, honestly, you can use some normal cutting shears or any type of scissors that you can get at Target or any big box retailer. You don't need anything fancy, and those will come in handy when we talk about repotting. Another thing that you're going to want to have is a pot that is at least 1 to 2 inches larger in size than the current pot it's in. Going slightly up in size allows those roots to spread and get comfy without getting shocked. If you go up too big in size, there's too much room for that, for those plant roots, and that could actually have an adverse effect. So 1 to 2 inches in size, and that'll keep you covered. And lastly, which is the most important, is fresh growing medium. So there are some schools of that where you want to make your own soil, and you can do that with just simple potting soil, and you can get a perlite mixture, like I have these, where it's either like lava rocks or even charcoal. And that allows, as you're repotting your plants, when you mix that in, it allows for better absorption and also nutrients. But guess what? You can go to any big box retailer and cut to the chase, and they have it done for you, where this is just the soil and the perlite's already mixed in there.
Shayla, I'm so glad you talked about the size of the pot, because I will tell you that is the one thing and I've done this a few times over the years, it is the area where I don't know what to do, and I'm afraid to make the wrong move. So I'm glad that you said you can buy too big of a pot. That can mess you up.
Yes, it can. And that's one thing too is sometimes you'll think that right when you get a new plant to bring it home and repot it. And that's actually not the case. A lot of times I actually leave my plants right in the nursery pot, and I will just, cheat and stick it in a decorative pot. And the nice thing is if it doesn't have a drainage hole and it's not time to repot, if you just stick it in there, then it actually buys you more time before you need another pot.
Okay, let's talk about steps for success.
Yes, I like to keep it as easy as 1, 2, 3. I don't like to do anything crazy. And so step 1, plant prep. An example I have here is I have my pothos that is actually due for a repotting. And so when you get it out of the pot, you're going to want to massage those roots. As you can see, this is a clump. And so you're really going to want to loosen those roots so they are elongated and have room to grow in their new pot. And so once you've given that good massage, you can go ahead and prune away any, let's say, dried roots, if you see any, or any yellowing leaves. I know I have one right here that can go when it's time to repot there. Second, then, once you have your new plant baby clean and fresh, is pot prep. As I say, there's always drainage hole, no drainage hole. If there is no drainage hole, I start by adding a layer of either lava rocks or charcoal, just to allow better absorption. And then once I have that layer down, I put in my soil really like I'm making a bread bowl. So think of packing in that soil and just making a nice little cushioned bed for your plant, and you tuck it right in. I usually go around 2/3 full within the pot, and that way I will stick my new plant in that little cocoon that I've made and tuck it in really nice with some extra soil. And once it is there, so that's with the proper positioning of the plant, and I have it where I want it, I'll actually give it a good watering because it's in a new environment and you want to actually lock in that loose soil that you have. And there you have a nice new home for your plants.
There we go. Can I tell you, as we're hopefully coming into a more optimistic era of the pandemic and hopefully within the year, maybe a little bit sooner, we can have guests back in the studio. I will say again, I am so excited to actually have you in the studio as a guest. I can't wait to have you back.
Likewise, Jason.
Thank you so much, Shayla. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Don't forget, everyone, for more information, go to theplantpenthouse.com and follow Shayla on Instagram as well. She's fantastic, a treasure to our show. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. Tuesday, most productive day of the week. It isn't always.
No.
No.
Never.
I'm going to see my mom today, and that's about it. That's all I need.
No girls' night?
I have girls' night, too. I guess there's two things. Girls' night, my mother. I got her some caramel apples from Universal Studios. You want to way? You know what the way to my mother's heart?
Caramel apple?
Caramel apples and Discovery Investigation. Right
that
there.
A girl.
That's my mom. Don't forget to sign up to be a part of the Jason Show virtual audience. Go to our Facebook page to find that. Just search for Jason Show TV and click the link we posted. Sign up for a certain day and be a part of our show. Have fun with the two of us. We have a good time. Okay, in my hand I have today's mystery bubblegum goodbye question. You ready, Kendall?
Mm-hmm.
We need a little music. We got to get a little thing from a little animation or something.
Something.
Here we go. If you could create the perfect candle scent, what would it be?
Kendall and candles?
We'll find out when we come back. The answer to our bubblegum goodbye question, if you could have any scent of candle, what would it be if you could create it? Kendall?
Sandalwood, vanilla, dash of cinnamon, and like a summer day at the beach. All in one.
That's going to do it for us. I'm just joking. No. I was going to say something else, but my mom for the win.
Yeah.
Puppy's breath.
Oh, baby puppies.
Puppy's breath is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Dar for the win on that one. Yeah.
Cute.
I love it. Tomorrow on the show, Sarah Rogers is back, and we're talking shades of green in honor of St. Patrick's Day. That's right. And I'm going to be dressed like a leprechaun. That's tomorrow. I'm just joking. That's coming up tomorrow, but right now, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.